So, because it is the christening of our third werewolf movie with our good friend Nick Filardi, we're going to allow Nick to
Thank
recreate
you.
the intro for this episode. I think you did a great job. Do you want to hear it? Do you all want to hear it?
Right. Yay!
Okay.
It's good, like the children's cheer. Yeah.
Let's let it roll.
Our in studio audience is here, and they're excited to hear Nick.
This
ahead,
cost
Nick.
me $1,500, by the way.
Yeah, this was very expensive.
I had to get the band.
Curious.
I had to get the audio engineers.
Yeah.
It took a lot of time and energy, and I really hope you guys appreciate it. Werewolves.
They're coming. They're coming your way. They're moving slow.
The Dark Lycanthropic Podcast. Goodbye, Werewolf. Fangs for the Memories. A subsidiary of Ruffkins.
It's true. Every word.
Jason Bateman is Teen Wolf 2. Todd Howard is a regular guy
Hi.
Bye.
with a couple of problems,
You just hit me with a dead frog.
Jerk.
just like his cousin Scott.
Feeling a little furry in there, buddy?
The good news is he's going to college.
This fine young man carries our hopes and dreams into the ring.
The bad news is he's going through a few changes.
And when you do change, I'm gonna be there to take you straight to the top. I don't howl. You don't see any fangs, do ya? It's not gonna happen.
You guys want to talk about Teen Wolf 2?
No.
Okay. All right. Podcast over.
There's the episode. We're done. Come on. Why? Okay, so we had you on for Teen Wolf as our resident werewolf expert,
Right.
as well as Monster Dog, because it had
Right.
Alice Cooper in it, and we
Yep.
all know that you love Alice Cooper. None of this is
Kind of.
true. So we needed to do Teen Wolf 2, the Jason Bateman crack shot first role in filmmaking.
Right. Put him on the
Is this
map.
his first role?
It is
first
his
role.
first role.
First role.
Really?
Actually,
Wow.
he missed high school to play this role in this movie, including both of his finals, and never got his degree so that he could film this.
Considering the themes of the movie, it's smart. Pays
Smart.
off.
Smart,
He had
yeah.
Wait, he had a career after this was his debut?
This was his
I don't-
debut. He never finished high school, and he had no idea what he wanted to do with his life other than hoping acting worked out.
I don't know if he had a. I mean, like he has a career now. I don't know if he had
Yeah.
a career after this movie.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now.
I'm saying that he ever recovered is kind of like I need to see the
Right.
Jason Bateman story. Like now I need to see a Jason Bateman biopic because like I need to know like this has got to be like the rock bottom moment in Jason Bateman's life.
No,
like
he
oh
was-
my god,
he
what have I
was
done with myself?
consistently working. He did a
I
TV
know.
movie the next year.
He was,
Another
yeah.
a TV
Yeah.
series the year after that, 2 of them, and
Well-
then a long running television series called
I-
Valerie.
I think he just got better over time,
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
happened.
But why would people
But he
keep
wasn't good from
hiring
the
him
beginning.
after this is my
Yeah.
point. My point is more that sure, I get that with practice you'd improve. Why would anybody have given him the chance?
I think that a lot of people were asleep at the wheel of this.
Oh yeah.
I think this was like, we just got to rush this thing out there. We got it under contract. We've shoveled enough money in that we need to recoup some of those expenses. Let's
Yeah.
just put it out there. And they're
Well,
like,
I don't
we
know
got to
if
get it.
that's-
We got to get a nobody. We got to get somebody who costs less than a star.
because Michael J. Fox dropped right after Back to the Future, because they were shooting Teen Wolf right around when they were shooting Back to the Future, and Michael J. Fox wasn't a big star.
Yeah,
at
what's the
time,
famous
right?
quote that he was like, I'm in here in wolf makeup and Steven Spielberg is shooting E.T.
He
next
was
door.
pissed
and he's
about
like-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was pissed.
Yeah.
So he just didn't come back because he didn't want to put the makeup back on, and he's way too much of a star now for Teen Wolf 2, right?
Sure.
So they got to know
He was too much of a star for Teen Wolf 1.
He
Yeah,
was,
right.
yeah. But like which I guess it's fine. But the problem is the whole movie is just like the same characters from the first film doing the same things essentially.
It's essentially all the same plot. But the small changes that they made where they took a lot of the jokes out and then replaced them with just cringier scenes and worse behavior and made everyone irredeemable and just made a much harder to watch film.
Yeah.
I have another theory about how this movie went. I feel like the casting of Jason Bateman didn't matter because the director was busy checking out TNA with all the women in the show. And that's the only casting that he gave a fuck about.
There's so many like cleavage shots, and then the whole boxing match at the end is just like shot after shot of the ring girl in the bikini.
There is way more ring girl in bikini than there is boxing.
We're jumping to pretty far in the. We're jumping to the end. I mean, should we end the podcast here? I mean, we've explained it.
Yeah. I'm done. All right, thanks everyone.
No, okay.
You're the only. Why can't we?
So okay, all right. No. This movie follows the same structure as the original Teen Wolf in that it's got a guy going to college and instead of high school or whatever, and he's unsure of himself a little bit. He's not confident, but he's still a jerk. And then he gets signed up for boxing. He's on a boxing scholarship. He's never boxed before ever. And then he just starts doing it. And then he wolfs out. And then people love him.
I realize, Nick, you're explaining something and it's important. But the way that Ilyon just like snuck that bar out of its wrapper was very funny.
I wanted to eat my protein bar but not have it be loud. Fuck off.
I'm sorry.
So it's basically the first movie, except instead of basketball, it's boxing.
Well, okay, let me explain a film for you. All right. We have a character who's a dog. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Our character says he's a dog multiple times. Multiple characters in the film say he's a dog.
Yep.
Our character's a dog. In the first movie, our character came from nothing, learned a sport, joined the team, and then became the champ. Our dog, right?
Yeah.
In the second movie, our dog came from nothing, picked up a sport, learned the sport, became the champ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were going to make a third movie with a dog that came from nothing, that learned a sport.
Correct.
And became the champ.
Yes.
There was supposed to be a third movie in the series?
There was supposed to be a third movie starring Alyssa Milano. She was going to play high school football, but this movie failed so hard and Air Bud failed so hard.
I was going to say
the studio pulled it.
I wasn't describing Teen Wolf. I was describing Air Bud.
Oh.
It's the same film. Teen Wolf is just an Air Bud franchise movie. And it makes so much more sense.
But no, I find that incredibly fucking offensive. How dare you compare Good Boy Air Bud, that darling golden retriever, to this giant piece of shit?
Put up the Twitter poll. Who has more charisma? Jason Bateman or Air Bud the golden retriever? Who can carry the franchise?
I think Air Bud. I'm going to be honest.
I am currently doing it right
now.
It's got
to be Air Bud. Yeah. It's got to be Air Bud.
Now, if it was Styles, versus Air Bud, I'd say Styles. Though.
Although,
they brought Styles back, but it's like knockoff worse Styles that like doesn't have a Dick Nose T-shirt but tries.
Well, and Teen Wolf, he's doing his Teen Wolf thing. He's being a jerk because that's the whole point of Teen Wolf is that you turn into the wolf and then you're a jerk. And he was such a jerk that Styles is like, well, I guess I'll just study.
Yeah, I'm gonna go study. Fucking Styles from the first movie, who's out like grabbing beers and driving around and surfing on top of a
car
van.
surfing. Yeah, none of that.
He's like, I'm gonna go study. This sucks.
I've actually put away childish things now, Teen Wolf.
There should be no story plot where Styles becomes the mature person in the group.
Right.
No.
This is a teen comedy, and it was like this awkward moment where Teen Wolf's like, let's get into some antics, and they're like, I don't know, man, I got finals. And then it's just
a lot of studying to do.
Long shot of Teen Wolf being like, welp. Yep.
Man, how do you do that? They fucked up so bad that they made Styles sad.
Yep.
I can't even. This is not a movie where you root for our main character. This is a movie where you root for the bullies to keep bullying our main character.
Yeah, the only satisfying part is like, so he wolfs out. He still continues to be a jerk. He's abusive to the love interest.
Yes.
The love interest is getting roped in by his abuse.
Why is she even... There's no world where she should be attracted to this horrible person.
Yeah, he's horrible all the way through. So, like, you are, as a viewer, you are enduring this. Like, it is a marathon of awful. And then, the end of the movie, the big fight comes around, and he's like, I don't need the wolf to be a fighter. Like, I'm going to be me. He's like trying to come around on this, like, morality, and then you just watch the bully just punch him in the head like over and over and over, and it is
so
the only satisfying part of this entire movie.
I love it.
Come on, hit me! Come on! My grandmother hits harder than that. Take that!
Finally.
Yeah, finally,
very satisfying
punched in that head. Yeah, just over and over again. However, they drop the ball. It looks like the bully's gonna win because he's just 3 rounds of just punching the guy in the head, and then they're like, "Oh, but the girl said she loves him." So he's found the will to fight on, and he eventually fights the bully and knocks him out, and then the movie ends.
Yeah, he's to put it in perspective as to how much he gets the shit kicked out of him.
It's like 10 minutes.
It is.
Well, yeah, but also, but not only that, but like he's like pulling himself up off of the mat, like drooling blood and like falling over, and.
He was like barely.
The ref asks him, like, "Son, are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm going home." And he goes, "All right, we're good, box."
Yeah, right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's fucking obviously concussed at the least.
Like, okay,
right.
Our hero Todd Howard from Bethesda.
Did we neglect to mention that his name is Todd Howard?
It's Todd Howard. They make sure to let you know.
They made sure we knew. They have a lot of. Oh, Todd Howard's in the school today. Todd Howard? Yeah, Todd Howard. Todd Howard?
You gonna drop the Todd Howard supercut right now?
Yes.
Todd Chubby. Chub Todd.
Yeah, I'm Todd. Howard?
Todd Howard from Bethesda Game Studio.
Hey, Todd.
Todd Howard by Skyrim. Okay. Written and slapped on upside down. Right. There we go. Thank you.
Bye.
All of this just works.
A jerk.
But also, so like Todd Howard is there, and they go to the boxing match, and then it just cuts to him in a cart and Styles there, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. They're just talking about, like waking up, and they go to an execution. Like, where's the joke?
I was wondering if you could see it my way.
Yes.
Yes?
I feel like at some point Teen Wolf is going to get knocked out, and then he's going to wake up on a cart in Skyrim.
Good, you're finally awake.
Yep.
Styles is in the cart. Styles is
in the cart, yes.
Styles is wearing a shitty fucking t-shirt being like, you're finally awake. Good.
He's wearing a shirt that says Skyrim for microwaves.
God, we're making a way better movie.
If we want to talk about all of the ways this movie doesn't make sense, there's a long conversation we can have about that. Because the bully at the beginning of this film, the reason why we know he's a bully is he, like, does a hot stunt, like, bootleg, oh god, what do they call that? Like, the bootleg turn or whatever, like, the hook turn.
He drifts. He does like a drift.
He does a 180 drift. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's like, it's called like the bootleg maneuver, like, because that's what bootleggers used to do, get rid of cops. But anyways, so like he does that to steal a parking spot from them in his like Corvette or whatever, and then he's the first opponent that he's one of like the main antagonists of the boxing world, I guess, at a different school.
On the
at
same
a different
premises.
School.
Yeah,
which is on the same campus. Yeah,
same building.
Yes, like why is
school.
okay? But like, and then they fight the same school like 3 different times throughout the movie. That's not how that works.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
yeah.
did the bully ever do anything wrong other than stealing one parking space?
He called him a chipmunk and broke a golf ball. I think that's it.
He stole you don't understand. He did one of the most heinous crimes that this director can think of, which is steal his women.
Because they don't have any agency over themselves.
So,
oh god, no.
I'm gonna point out some things about our main character and why you should hate him. He sees a lady that he likes. He's like, oh, pretty woman. Oh, maybe we should date. He grabs women's asses out of nowhere.
Well, okay.
After they say that you're ugly and I hate that I have to dance with you.
There you go. I'm like, the big thing is that she immediately told him, hey, don't do anything with me. I don't like you. I don't even want to dance with you. I'm just being made to. And then we get a shot of like the director zooming in on her tits so that it's like hyper close up. And then we get an immediate shot after that of him like reaching down and grabbing her ass like really creepily over and over while she's like slapping his hand away and telling him not to.
It was a long shot too.
It's bad. But there's also the love interest nerdy science girl who he has an abusive hissy fit at in the library, and then afterwards sitting outside on the steps she's like, are you okay now? Yeah, hey, we should still date. That was great. He ditches his friends to pick up hot women on the side of the road so that he can have sex with them in Styles' bedroom.
Yeah.
Including Styles' girlfriend.
Yeah. There's no redeeming quality. Every off-campus thing that Teen Wolf did was awful. Like, objectively awful.
Well, I want to point out too. So the idea of the movie is, oh, the wolf makes him bad, and therefore, like, he doesn't need the wolf. He's going to reject that bad side of himself and be okay with being the nerdy, normal guy, right? Mm-hmm. That's ostensibly what they were going for. But for that arc to work, there's a couple of things that they really fucking missed on. Like, for example, he has to be likable when he's a person! Because all of the beginning stuff that we're talking about, him grabbing her ass and ogling her when she's telling him clearly to stop, he's a person!
Yeah.
When he's abusing the woman that's like, oh, I really like you, and he's like, well, but you're a stupid fucking nerd and I hate you and everybody in the school sucks, and he's like throwing books at her. He's a person! And then later on, when he's doing the boxing match and he summons up the will and wins, no, he needs to lose. He needs to lose and just be like, okay, it's fine. None of these people that I thought were my friends like me now because I'm not winning in boxing. But who gives a shit? Because they're all bad people. That
he's supposed to grow as a character and be able to let that part of who he thinks he needs to be go.
Die. Yes.
Yeah, he needs to let it go.
Kill your past if you have to.
Before his transformation, he's also a dick to the ad drop clerk.
Right.
When he's trying to change his class schedule that Styles made for him. And again, that's before transformation. He just red eyes and becomes an asshole to this clerk. And then as he's walking out, he's like, hey, it's really easy. You can just change classes. All you have to do is be a real dick. All right, bye.
Well, not only that, but like what Nick and I were saying at that time too is that it's ad drop week. It's the first week of school. You're allowed to do that.
Every college.
You need to be an asshole to her. That's just her job. She would do that. That's what you do.
I don't think any of the writers went to an actual college, just like how the writers never went to an actual high school in the first Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that is very firmly like this is obviously a high school and not a university / college.
Oh yeah,
because there's like all these moments of like they play a prank on him and put ants underneath his seats.
No,
so,
fleas.
Oh, is it fleas? Okay, I wasn't that.
Because he's a dog.
I maybe didn't pay enough attention to this movie.
But I'm a dog.
You were reading Twitter the whole movie, which is probably better, to be fair. But he's a dog.
I wasn't reading Twitter the whole time.
So,
but anyway, but also like so they put bugs anyways underneath his desk and they crawl up his leg and he gets all itchy and then he walks out of the classroom and the professor's like, "Where are you going?" No fucking professor ever in existence would ever give a flying fuck about
professors
somebody leaving their class.
No. Come to class, don't come to class, leave halfway through. I'm teaching, you should be here for yourself. You know,
I don't give a shit.
Like I don't give a shit.
Listen, if you don't care about your future, why should I? That's every college professor. Why would any college professor ever have a different opinion than that? They're not there to babysit you anymore. You're not in high school. You're not in middle school. Like, but there's only a lot of little things like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's just like, what? Like, isn't this college? Like, they have like a frog fight. They throw dead frogs.
I was gonna say that is. God. Now we've all been to college or school at some point.
We've all been in a frog fight.
We've all been in a frog fight, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're in the dissection room.
But that's the first week of class, not just before finals.
Yeah, but sometimes when you sip a little formaldehyde off the top, like
okay, yeah, I mean, I did do that. Obviously, everybody did that. Like, yeah, you get a little fucked up in biology class once you start chugging the formaldehyde. But
everybody knows this.
They don't like you. Only the wolf.
Next, they're gonna say they're hungry like the wolf.
Great for me. Doesn't give you the right to go off and start judging it.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! Good. She slapped him with a frog. That whips.
Fantastic.
Holy shit, that rules.
Jerk.
You just hit me with a dead frog.
What? What?
Ew?
What?
Ew?
These are like a lot of these are full of like formaldehyde and very dangerous chemicals that you should not be breathing. And
some are alive, apparently.
Yeah.
What?
This is a classic college situation.
Classic.
Yeah.
Frog fighting!
Frog fighting.
It's so common.
She acted like that she knew what that was.
Oh. Okay, so the Teen Wolf getting punched in the head at the end for 10 minutes.
Yes!
And the frog fight. Were those the only two good scenes in the movie?
There was one other, not good scene, but good moment, I would say. And that is the ska punk song.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that the scene where the song was playing sucked.
I don't even remember the scene
because it was just a montage.
It was a montage
of him like boxing. I think.
Yeah, it was in training.
Jumping rope.
Stuff. Yeah. There's
like just,
right.
It was the third of 4 montages.
I was gonna say, if you're confused as to why we can't remember what a montage was about, it's because half of this movie is fucking montage.
The thing is, too, is like he turns into the wolf. He wins the boxing match handily. Like he is a boxer as the wolf, and then they're like, "Well, gotta train," and it's like, no. He don't.
I feel like
skip this montage.
Yeah, I feel like there were scenes in this movie that were edited out of order. I think that was part of the problem. Like, there's a scene earlier where Todd Howard is like, "Hey, have you bought Skyrim yet?" But he hasn't even like
He hasn't even invented it.
Haven't even invented it. But there's another scene.
He's still trying to access the computer science lab, and they won't let him. It's way out of order.
Makes no sense. But there's another scene where he's like, man, everybody at school hates me. The dean's dog is like biting at my legs. And like, this is just out of fucking nowhere that he's saying this. And then 10 minutes later, we get a scene where the dean's dog is biting at his legs and everybody hates him. Like, they edited the scene to earlier in the film.
It's
but what he's saying is later in the film.
It's strange too because that's a recap scene.
That's
is not even like we don't need that scene. Doesn't serve any other purpose, it's like 20 minutes in. They're recapping the 20 minutes in.
Well, I mean, it serves another purpose.
It shows that he's a dick in the library.
It serves the purpose of him just being an abusive motherfucker to this poor woman that did absolutely nothing wrong to him.
She did slap him with a frog later, so
that was satisfying.
That was also
that was so good. Every part of this movie, I just want Teen Wolf to fucking get hit in the face.
Right. They should. You know what? They should make a third one, and Teen Wolf should fucking die in it.
You know who should have also punched him in the face? Styles. I'm upset that Styles didn't punch him in the face too.
And God, I hate to even say this, Chubbs. I hate to even say his name, but Chubbs, yes.
Whenever a character's not punching Teen Wolf in the face,
every
character should be asking, why isn't someone punching Teen Wolf in the face?
Yeah.
That's this movie.
I still love, I'm thinking back again, like, so he becomes Teen Wolf, then suddenly all the women love him. He's got all these girls hanging off of him and stuff. And then he goes to a mini golf course, and the woman that hated him, that kept on telling him not to grab her ass, is there on a date with him, I guess, and another girl, because apparently, you just get all the women.
They're both on a date with him at the same time, playing mini golf. But he's not letting them play mini golf. He's hitting all of their balls in and showing off and be like, well, that's game, ladies.
Sure, but also, what I'm saying too, though, is then, like, the bullies show up, and they're like, girls, you want to come with us? And then they're
like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
and then they just hate Teen Wolf for the rest of the movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, and they play through at a mini golf course.
Yeah, we're gonna play through.
That was really good.
That was actually funny as shit to me, because who the fuck plays through on a mini golf?
Such an alpha move.
I'm gonna play through.
I think that you'll find that that's actually a Zeta male move. They're outside of the normal hierarchy.
Oh god. Oh god.
Shut up.
They're so alpha that they're outside of the normal hierarchy of alpha beta males.
So just to there was some disappointment that I had with this movie beyond the scope of the movie.
Just a little. Okay, yeah, go on.
There was barely any actual werewolf things happening. It was like he turned into the wolf, but then it was just boxing, like, or dancing. It wasn't like,
well, there's no werewolf that says a werewolf can't box,
right? But like, there was no like,
he's smelling a thing better,
right? Yeah. All they did was
chasing another dog, or
right.
Yeah, like he sees like a rabbit run into a bush and he just jumps into it because he's a werewolf.
He could have just like got bitten by a radioactive spider and been the same guy, Like there's no reason for him to be a werewolf.
He could have just done some steroids and got really jacked and been the exact same guy.
Is this movie low key about not juicing as a boxer?
It could be. I mean, I don't think that this movie's about anything other than the director.
I never got a clear feeling of anything that this movie was about. Jeff Loeb did a really good job of writing this one.
Yeah, came back for Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah.
And just wrote some words.
Knocked it out of the park.
Really put one word in front of another.
He wrote down teen, he wrote down wolf, and then he stopped.
And then he paused for a really long time and he went, wait, how do we do a clever sequel name? I know. We'll say also, but it'll be 2 TOO, like it's a sequel. But it's also just another wolf.
So we didn't actually talk about that bit. Why is it another Teen Wolf? Because it's Teen Wolf's cousin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf is also in this universe, which is why there's Styles and everybody else is back. It's
they're back, but they're also not back because this is Nega
they're
Styles.
Different. It's Nega Styles, yeah.
We learned from the first movie as well that all the Teen Wolf characteristics, the wolf is genetic. It's not actually like you can't transmit the wolf from like a scratch or a bite or whatever.
So why is the biology teacher a wolf?
I wanted to bring that up too. There's no reason. She intimidates the dean at the end to like let Teen Wolf like, I don't know, go to school, I guess. Like let him actually learn something.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like she could have just like intimidated the dean without being a wolf. I mean, Teen Wolf is there to go to school.
Yes.
The whole thing was like, and then she walks away with a tail, and Teen Wolf doesn't even have a tail, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Is this your idea of a threat?
No. This is.
Werewolf. Oh no, they did it.
Oh my god, I never saw it coming.
Who would have thought? Wow.
Wow, wild.
Wow,
oh my
twist.
god.
What a twist, wow.
You guys
You
really
don't know
didn't see
who
it
you're
coming?
dealing with.
Yeah, no, I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh my god, she's a furry.
Shot.
That's just the fashion of the time, really.
The Teen Wolf never had a tail though.
No, he never did.
They put that tail on that woman.
She's not a
for
werewolf.
No reason.
She's a furry. They're different. Yeah. It's because she's not a wolf. She's not a werewolf. She's a furry. They're in the same universe though, right? Because werewolves don't have, at least in this universe, they don't have big fluffy tails sticking out of their butt. But she sure does.
Yep.
For some reason.
It
was not a fetish thing, but maybe it was.
Teen Wolf 2, not a fetish thing.
Not a fetish thing. This movie is all... no, I can't say it's not a fetish thing, actually. This whole movie is just all TNA.
It really is.
It really is.
It really is.
I feel like every time the director felt like, oh, we might be losing our audience here. We haven't told a joke for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to be in their underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Well, there was also the very oddly sexual man-spreading guy who was looking at looking at a book and talking to his colleague outside of the school.
That was indicative of the whole movie.
He was like aggressively man-spreading. He's just so Teen Wolf, Todd Howard, and girlfriend who does not at all deserve any of this, is walking out, and there's an extra that's just supposed to be like going over a book or an assignment or something with either a student or another teacher, but he's lifted one leg up on top of this like brick ledge that's there, or a brick wall, and the other one's still on the ground, and he's just completely spread eagle.
Oh my god!
In front of this lady,
leaning over this other woman,
in front of this lady, just like, well, what you gotta do there is
the ledge is like as high as his hip, like it cannot be comfortable for him to do this.
He's like, you gotta carry the two, and he's like, scratching his leg and like spreading, like, holy shit, buddy.
Yeah.
What is that guy doing? He's looking at a piece of paper with his leg up, just bad spreading. What is he doing?
He is dominating that piece of paper for sure.
Holy shit!
You ever came to an athletic field was playing clarinet in the marching band.
Also, I have an answer for why she was a werewolf in a way.
Really?
Okay. The movie wanted it because they were like, we need to have somebody to tell him to not be a jerk, and they need to get through to him, so I guess that it can be this teacher. And then the other thing is that they needed to have a really weird sexual energy between every woman and Jason Bateman every single time.
Every female teacher has like these weird shots where they're like, "Hey, Teen Wolf," and it's like happens for a second, and it's very strange. Also, she's a wolf, right? The biology teacher.
Yes.
Never interacts with Teen Wolf as the wolf. Never is like, "Hey, I'm also a wolf. I can mentor you." Like,
so there was no point.
There's no point. And then the uncle who's a werewolf is like, "I'm gonna mentor you. You haven't seen me for an hour, but I'm just gonna pop into college and like mentor you." It's so strange.
Well, not only does he
doesn't mentor him, he just shows up in the crowd.
No, he doesn't show up in the crowd. He shows up in boxing. He comes to the sad boxing ring crying montage.
When he's like, "Somebody called me a jerk, so I must be."
Yeah.
And then
which is
the
true.
dad, which is true. And the uncle comes and is like, "Hey, you don't have to be a jerk. You can make your life better."
When you're sitting alone in the boxing match ring, crying to yourself over being an asshole. Your uncle stopped by. He's like, "Hey, pal, how's that wolf coming?"
I really need to talk to you.
Yeah, tough spot, huh?
that you made for yourself, huh?
Sure is. You fucked up, huh?
I just let it get out of hand.
They shot that whole scene with a Dutch angle fucking spin.
Oh god, it was making me nauseous.
Right, I remember why I don't remember this scene. It's because it started making me feel physically ill. So that was one of the times where I actually looked away. I even said at the time, you were both like, "Oh god, this scene is making me feel physically ill," and I went, "Yep, I have a hot tip for that."
Could you imagine sitting in a theater and seeing this thing huge, and the camera is just spinning the entire time?
I don't get motion sick. I don't get motion sick, but that made me actually physically ill. I had a really hard time watching that moment. It was bad. Yeah. It was extremely rough to watch because it's one of those like high action circling camera scenes, but it goes on too long. The camera like moves too fast, and they're just too stationary because they're just talking to each other. Like, oh god, there's just
another instance where I bet the director was like, "We're losing them. We're losing the audience. We got to do something. There's no girl in this scene. I don't know what to do. Just spin the camera."
All right, Jason Bateman, strip down. Oh, Jason Bateman won't strip down. Okay, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? We never planned for something like this.
I don't think they understand what music teens like either in this film.
Oh yeah, the 1950s rock dance number.
Yeah, the 1950s dance number just out of nowhere.
In your classic 80s comedy.
Like, this makes sense in Back to the Future, right? Because they're in the fucking 50s.
Yeah.
But in this, it's just, let's just have a fucking, let's do the twisted shout.
Do you think that was
great?
That was like a conscious play by the director to be like, well, we are semi-linked to Back to the Future, so we're going to try to give people what they want, or like trick them in some way to like enjoying this like they enjoyed?
No. I don't think the director thought that far ahead about anything.
They're just stumbling around blindly in the dark.
Correct. He's like, "Oh, I don't know, what's cool music that kids like? I know what I really liked," and then he put that on.
Yeah,
I think that's what that is.
All right,
that's my. Listen, I appreciate you trying to make this director out to have done anything correct, but I just don't. You don't need to.
I feel like when you make something, you do have to make choice, even if you are checked out emotionally. Like, you do have to make choices. So I don't.
Guess.
Man,
maybe they didn't commit to any choices, right?
Right, exactly.
Because there's no this movie has a real big problem with theme, time. Like, when is this taking place? Why is this location?
Yeah,
in Colorado with fucking palm trees.
Yeah.
The location could literally just not even matter. It's pointless.
Yes.
It's just college. Who cares?
Well, and it's not college because nobody acts like it's in college. Like it feels like it's bullies in a lunchroom in high school is like the energy that the bullies and stuff have, and like everybody has like frog fights, and professors act like the kids are, well, children, not adults, which is, if you're going to college, you're an adult. Like, you know, like there's a lot of things like that it feels very much like everything's just incongruous, right? Like, no, they don't understand boxing. They don't understand women. They don't understand their location. They don't understand college. Like, they don't. Every single thing about it is wrong. Like, the music is wrong. The location is wrong. The way that the women are portrayed is wrong. The way that the kids act is wrong. The way that the teachers act is wrong. The way that the boxing happens is wrong. Like,
the message is wrong.
The message is wrong.
Yeah.
The message is you can't go through life as a wolf and expect it to solve all your problems. But he can.
It did. It solved
all his problems.
His problems were bigger than him being a wolf.
Yeah.
He was a piece of shit, gigantic asshole the entire movie. Long before he became a wolf.
Also, it's wild that, like, they took Styles, famed party animal, put him in college, and then didn't do anything with him at all.
Nothing. There were like two or three good moments, I'd say, with Styles. But like they were subdued compared to the first Styles.
I would like to raise you against that. I would like to say 40-watt bulb tanning.
40-watt bulb tanning while using a Monopoly board with like aluminum foil on it.
Aluminum foil over it. So he's got like
reflect it. Yeah,
you know, like the reflectors that people use to tan. He's doing that, but with a desk lamp.
There was something.
It was something, but I just like. How do you make a movie like this and not have Styles throw a wild party at some point? You know?
Well, they threw a wild party to 1950s Twist and Shout.
Right. And Styles had nothing to do with it. No. And it was just like there. Like that whole scene is just there.
I will say Styles is 100% the type of guy that would go to a sporting event and ask for pom-poms and then just get on the cheer squad though. Styles, and he does. And he does. It whips.
Yeah.
There are some moments where I'm like, man, Styles is cool, and everybody else in this movie fucking sucks.
Yep. Yeah, they just needed more that kind of stuff. Yeah, you just needed more Styles. Like, there you go.
All they had to do was not make a Teen Wolf movie, and instead make a spin-off Styles movie. That's all they had to do.
I think that because they were struggling so hard to put jokes into the movie, they also didn't know what to do with Styles. Because that's what Styles is.
He is the joke. He's he's not a joke. He's the best character, but he's the comic relief.
Yeah, he's the charm and charisma of the movie.
Yeah,
next to a flat cardboard Teen Wolf.
Cardboard Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
That has no charisma or acting ability in this film. Yes,
and I feel like he showed up to be like, "Hey, I'm here to be charismatic and interesting," and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't have any of those lines." Like, sorry,
we don't have time for that. Sorry. We've got to have another scene of Teen Wolf being creepy to a girl.
Yeah. We're not sure the audience gets it yet.
I mean, a lot of the times that he was being creepy to women, though, they were portrayed. Like, I want to make it clear that a lot of the times they were having him be creepy to women, he was in fact just like, they weren't portraying it as him being creepy to women. They were portraying it as just like, oh, that's how guys act. Like that. That's the thing.
Oh, he's the wolf now, so he's living every male fantasy.
Yes.
That dumb shit.
See, I don't know if that's in the script or if that's the director. That's the thing.
It might be just the 1980s as well.
It could be the 80s.
Yeah. I don't know. It's worse than a lot of 80s movies for that, though. Like, it's pretty bad about it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I was mentioning Revenge of the Nerds earlier when we were talking about this movie. Like, Revenge of the Nerds has a lot of fun charisma and quirky characters. It also has very gross scenes where they treat women very terribly.
Yeah, some John Hughes movies are kind of tough to revisit.
So some of that, I think, is the time.
Yeah.
To be honest. to be honest. That's what they thought was fun, cheeky college comedy.
Yeah, like poking holes into the like women's change room or something.
Yeah, just gross stuff. And I think that was part of it. Part of it is because I think the director's a pervy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, Oh man, I did get a review. I was looking up some reviews while we were talking about this. Here's a review from Dylan W. December 21st, 2008. I expected nothing, and I got less than that. That's the whole review.
Accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
That
accurately sums up every feeling that I have for this movie, because I expected it to be pretty bad.
I came in,
and boy, it really went over.
When we started the movie, I was like, okay, I've got some unresolved questions from Teen Wolf 1. Like, I hope that we get like some sort of answers to them. No, we just departed into a blander world. That's all that happened.
Did you have questions about Teen Wolf 1?
The whole thing with the girlfriend who was like his friend growing up, and it was like highly alluded to, like they were like, oh, she might be a wolf, and I was like, I wonder if she's going to come back, if she's going to be in the college, if she's going to be the love interest, maybe she is a wolf as well. They're going to finally reveal that, and then they just jettisoned that character into the sun, and we all moved on.
They jettisoned everything from the first movie, other than they brought back a bunch of character. Yeah,
Dad, Coach, and Styles and Chubbs. That's it.
Well, they brought back Dad, Coach, Styles, and Chubbs, but also you've got to understand that 2 out of those 4 people weren't those same people.
Yeah,
they're different. Like, one of the reviews on here is literally, that's not the same Styles. 1 out of 5.
Yeah. And you know what?
That's true.
I understand that reviewer. Like, I empathize with that.
Here's a review from Renee, August 30th, 2008. The thicker the glasses, the smarter you are. 2 out of 5.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a very good point. They raise up an interesting point in that every single time that Jason Bateman goes into science class, he suddenly has glasses.
Yeah, he does, because he's doing science. Yeah.
A thing that he doesn't wear any other scene in the movie, because he doesn't need them.
I know that you weren't paying attention the first time you put the glasses on in the science
I
class.
missed it.
So the second time you're like, wait, why does he have glasses now? I'm like, well, because he's doing science. They said that earlier, last time he did science.
Yeah, I think that I somehow miss it. I don't know if I was writing a note or what. I looked away for a second and missed him having the glasses in science, but Yup. I have very important information here to go on. I put up the poll. Who is the more charismatic lead character? It is 100% Air Bud.
Oh, man.
Air Bud.
There's not a single vote for Teen Wolf Jason Bateman.
0 votes?
0 vote. There's like 10 votes for Air Bud right now.
You know, I knew it was going to be a blowout towards Air Bud, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
It's deserved.
You should have tagged Jason Bateman. We could have used the retweet, get a little reach.
I don't know if he would have retweeted that.
He's like, I'm in Ozark now. I don't need this.
All right, here's a good one from Nick A. I equate watching this movie right up there with having my nuts bit off by a Laplander. Half a star out of 5.
Half a star.
That's the lowest you could rate it. You can't give a 0.
I remember reading that Siskel and Ebert said that this was like the absolute worst of the movies that they'd seen in the last like 3 years or something. And they were like, wow, this is the absolute worst series of movies that we've ever seen. What the fuck? Why are these so bad? I'm like, it lives down to that reputation.
They gave it 2 thumbs down. Man, if only they had more thumbs.
Oh man, I kind of want to watch this 2-minute 47-second clip of Siskel and Ebert talking about Teen Wolf 2.
I'm good. I already watched the movie. I know exactly what they're going to say. This thing, it was just so. I really do think that my main problem with this was just how misogynistic it was.
Yes.
That's like, the only tone.
Stunning.
That's the only tone of the whole movie.
Yeah, it's just how much, like, every woman in it is eye candy who cannot make her own decisions. They just follow whatever strong alpha male is on screen at that particular moment to tell them a thing. Like, that's why when they go to the mini golf course and the bullies come up and they're like, "Hey girls, you want to come out with us instead?" They're immediately like, "Yes."
Yeah, right.
Like, they're just they're robots with tits and asses. It's fucking unreal.
It is, yeah.
It's some of the worst characterization I've ever seen of women. It's really bad.
I'm reading through that Siskel and Ebert review.
Hell of a movie. You guys, sometimes you watch some good movies.
Sometimes.
Only accidentally.
Yeah, not on purpose.
Not when I'm on the podcast, huh?
Yeah, that's weird, huh?
That's weird how that works out.
I mean, you can bring a movie to the next one.
All right, I'm bringing a fucking movie. I'm bringing a movie.
You can choose
for it.
Yeah, you can choose your own adventure. It's fine.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I know that I will mock you incessantly for exactly how you're going to fuck it up.
I got some in mind already that I'm ready to
movie
put on you.
I have a good way to fix this movie. Let's just have 90 minutes of Teen Wolf getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
Just loop it.
The supercut should the director
the supercut of the last 10 minutes of him getting punched in the face, and then cut it off before he wins the fight. Just end it. That's the film.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. We're done. We got the whole movie.
Yeah, he hits the mat.
Oh,
the guy counts. That's it.
I found out why they chose to do a boxing instead of football for this film, by the way.
Oh, why is that?
They didn't have to hire as many extras for the boxing match as they would have for a football movie.
I suspected, because you need a full team, just like in the basketball shots.
Yep. Yeah. So they saved money by switching to boxing.
I think they learned from the. I think they learned from the first when they tried to shoot all the basketball scenes in the first movie, and they were like, and it was like all a disaster. The actual basketball, like in motion with all these actors, was awful.
Yeah,
and they were like, we just got to simplify it.
So 2 people in a ring is way easier to shoot,
right?
Than 2 teams. So they saved on it and tried to make it look better, and then they just imitated Rocky at the end.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rate Jason Bateman. Is Jason Bateman worse or better than Chevy Chase? We haven't pulled out the Chevy Chase scale in a while, but we're on the Chevy Chase scale. I want to be done. I'm tapping out.
I think they're equal. I think they're both at the bottom.
I mean, in this movie, they are equal. I think Chevy Chase is probably an overall worse person.
Overall,
Jason Bateman in real life.
I'm talking about this film.
Sure.
Yeah. No, in this film, Jason Bateman is exactly as bad as Chevy Chase in every movie we watched.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. We've now found. Congratulations, Jason Bateman. Everybody just give it a little round of applause. We have a new Chevy Chase. We'd like to give him an award. Should we make like the Chevy Chase Rough Cuts Award for worst dog?
I do not want to send Jason Bateman a golden Chevy Chase award.
He would be very confused, and then he would see that online poll, and he'd be like, "Oh, this makes a lot of sense."
Oh,
now.
okay.
Why am I getting harassed by this podcast?
Well, we need to rate the Rottweiler, the Dean's dog.
Yeah.
Dean's
dog.
Yeah, that's their other dog in the movie. The Rottweiler is very intimidating and loves to growl when the Dean asks him to. And then just as like, I guess my new owner is Teen Wolf, and this is cool, and I'm gonna sit in a car with him and be very, very cool about it.
I forgot about that. Teen Wolf stole the Dean's dog.
Teen Wolf stole his dog and his car.
Oh God, yeah, there's a weird scene where in one of the montages, Teen Wolf starts becoming successful. Sorry?
Three good scenes.
Three good scenes.
The frog fight, this scene, and the
10 minutes of him getting punched in the face.
Punched in the head. Yeah.
But in the middle of this montage, he's suddenly sitting in the Dean's desk, and the Dean gives him like a sad face, and then tosses him the keys to his car as the dog like sits there and licks like his hand kind of thing, like while he's sitting in the Dean's seat with no context.
None.
The Dean's dog also really likes dirty socks.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a weird scene.
That was a weird scene.
That was a weird scene.
Because the socks were still on someone's feet, and that was what was weird about
it. Yeah.
You ever notice how we watch a lot of movies that have a lot of weird feet stuff? Because I noticed we've got a lot of weird feet stuff in our movies.
I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't know how I rate this dog, to be honest. It's like a pretty good dog, but there's no pets.
There's no pets. However,
the dog's kind of a jerk most of the time until the end.
There was one quick scene where the dog was supposed to be harassing Teen Wolf, and you could tell that he was taking direction from his handler off screen.
That's true.
And he did seem like a pretty good boy.
I think that dog's a good boy. I'm going to give like a very safe 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this dog a 12 out of 10. The reason why, as you said, this dog gets no pets. All it ever does is attack characters in this movie. Yeah. Correct. All characters in this movie deserve to be attacked. Good boy.
Okay, attack all Teen Wolves.
There's one character that shouldn't and did get attacked, and I'm very upset that they punched Styles in the face in this film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck
is up with that?
Yeah.
Styles didn't deserve that.
Didn't serve any purpose at all.
They just punched him.
He's there trying to do the best job he can. There's no lines for him, and then they punch him in the head at the end.
So how are you rating this Styles?
Styles is easily a good boy of 13 out of 10. Like, come on.
Yeah. He's not as good as the previous Styles.
I was going to say, he's not as good as the previous Styles, right?
But he's still Styles.
Knock him down
he's no what's up dick nose.
No, exactly. He's not like the, have you got a rash? It's like, why? Do you want to find one? I know where I can get one.
I know.
Yeah, right?
He has no classic lines like
the worst.
That was like 6 months ago. I still remember that line.
The worst thing this movie did is make me appreciate the first movie.
Yeah, real talk. Like,
oh yeah,
this movie is at least quirky and goofy. This movie's just depressing and upsetting. Yeah,
and that's Rough Cuts. Thanks for watching, everybody. We have our Twitter is @RoughCutsCast. You can check out our Gmail, roughcutscast@gmail.com, or you can become a Patreon and or patron, not a patron. Patreon is the company. Patrons are okay.
A Patreonian.
Yeah, you can. It's the Patreonian. Yes, as they're known. So you can be a Patreon.
Many layers.
And give us money because we like money. So do that. You also get podcasts early by like a day.
We also want to thank our good friend Nick Filardi here for showing up. By the way, did you want to plug anything at the end here, Nick?
People, if they're into cryptids, I got a couple of prints up at nickfilardi.com. Of Mothman and a Frogman. I plan on doing some more and doing some art on stream. You can check out my stream at twitch.tv/nickphil. But I've just been swamped with DC work, which is nice to have, but also a little annoying because I want to do a bunch of personal projects. But yeah, or you can follow me on Twitter at nickphil.
Yeah, when you say DC, that means Detective Comics, as in professional comic book artists.
Yeah, I do other things than watch terrible dog movies with you guys.
I don't know why you would.
Obviously you should only watch terrible dog movies with us. Why are you doing this stupid comic thing?
I wanna end this episode on a quote from this film that we just watched.
Hit me
if this is some kind of joke, I'm not laughing. And that's how I feel about this whole fucking movie. Very deep.
It wounds.
You'll notice I'm not laughing.
Me either. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, the whole movie's like that so far.
What?